of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just have one addition to the agenda. I got a letter today from Craig Salonia, who is interested in sitting on the council. So if we can have a motion to add that to the agenda to, I guess let's make it the first item under new business.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Public comment. Yes.
Dick Potter, I'm a visitor from North Branford, and as long as she's in office, you'll see me here, and when you can't see me here, you'll get a letter from me. Melissa, you still offend me by kneeling. It still hurts, and as long as you're doing it, I will be here because it hurts. I don't know why you won't respect our country, our flag, our pledge. You're an official. You represent these people. You're doing your personal vendetta against someone on town time. You're costing the town money, and you're not taking care of the people that are here that you're supposed to be taking care of. Now, in case you wonder, can I read this? It's on how to properly say the Pledge of Allegiance. When saying the Pledge of Allegiance, citizens of all ages should stand at attention, face the flag, and salute by placing your right hand over the heart. Men should remove their hats, and women any sports caps. When in uniform, military, police, military personnel, firefighters, and law enforcement officers give a military salute. Veterans and service personnel out of uniform may give the military salute or place the right hand over the heart. Again, you're blowing it off. It's a condition of your employment because it's in the agenda. And if you're not going to do it properly, I'm going to be here to remind you until you furtherly have stepped down or you don't run again. That's how much you offend me. I know you're supposedly offended by Mr. Trump, but this hurts. This hurts as a veteran, as a citizen of this great country. You don't realize the privileges we have in this country. Clean water, the ability to vote without somebody standing there with a gun to your head. So many things that this country has, and you just kind of blow them away. They bother you, this bothers you, that bothers you. That's what's wrong with this country today. So you keep kneeling, and I'll keep coming. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Welcome to Haddam.
Oh, I love the town. I go through a lot.
I'm glad you like it. It's a beautiful town.
Yeah, except for the first 5 minutes of the town meeting.
Oh. Anyone else?
I'd like to speak,
Yes.
if I may. First up, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I come here before you today to voice my anger and discontent with the second select person's misflags behavior in a public forum. For vulgar email replies, which I would like to have entered into the record, conduct such as her has no place in government, and I'm here before you and the people of Haddam to make sure that they are aware of what she actually represents. She uses her political position to broadcast a message of hate, discord, and division. Constituents should be aware of the dialogue. I ask that the entire email transmission between her and I are entered into the record, and that the town of Haddam ask for her resignation. At no time during my email transmissions to her was I vulgar. I want that to be known. Her replies of Heil Hitler on August 17th, and I'll quote her reply after I emailed her the history of a Pledge of Allegiance. This is her quote back to me. It was a pledge, just a marketing promotion, written for capitalist reasons in honor of a rapist, genocidal maniac who never even came to America, and it was a tyrant failure. I've known about it for years, but thanks for writing. I know that the people of Haddam would not want a representative in government with this maniacal attitude and broadcast an opinion of such as this, to a very sacred nation of Americans. What's the point? What is the point of serving? What do you actually represent? This individual has no concept of sacrifices made by so many so that we can be blessed to live in the greatest nation on earth. Mish Slag, all I can tell you, make eye contact with me. This is not the face of a Nazi or a fascist, it's the face of an American, and I want you to know that. Never forget this face, because obviously you probably won't resign, but I want to make sure that the people of Haddam know that what you really are, you're nothing. You really are. You represent nothing. Because that's the fabric that holds us all together. It doesn't make a difference if it's a Democrat or a Republican. And you know what? At least I had the courage to come here and face you.
Thank you. Welcome to Haddam.
Anyone else?
Cell phone towers, where do we stand?
Cell phone towers, I'm waiting for an update. I know that the private developer, the private property has been moving along, and I'm waiting to hear about one of the town properties. As soon as I can say, I will announce. Yes, Sally Hess.
Jail Hill Road. I just want to say thank you for taking the pole out of jail, at the bottom of Jail Hill Road. We've been here since late 1969. And even though the pole seems to be gone, I still kind of bend around and looking up the street and down the street, but it's just so nice to see that gone. Thank you. I don't know why it was never done before.
Yes, you're very welcome. My frustration, I've been trying to do that since, I think, December of 2015. And unfortunately, Frontier has had many changes and dropped the ball, but we're able to get this last gentleman to help us out and get it done. So they're supposed to pave it. They can't do it tomorrow because, again, we're going to get more rain. So hopefully, by the end of the week, the intersection will be all set. It'll be much safer and a better intersection. So you're very welcome. Happy to have that finally off the list. Yes.
Liz, I'll second that from Sally Hass, Ed Munster for Haddam. Many of us always didn't know when you're coming up 154 from the south in particular, which direction, to go around the pole before it or after the pole. And I've seen people do it both, one way or the other way, and it's always a question, and you just hope nobody's coming up in the wrong lane. So
Yeah.
it's a great, I think it's a great traffic improvement. Thank you.
No, I'm happy to. I've seen the same thing, so thank you. Any other comments? Yes.
Chip Frey, Haddam. I just wanted to share some. Last Thursday at P&Z, we had a fantastic learning experience through the University of Connecticut in their land use department. A professor from the University of Connecticut came down and gave us some wonderful advice and taught everybody in attendance. I learned some things. One thing that I found extremely interesting is that he cited 2 court instances where one judge had ruled an abstention as a yes vote, and another judge ruled an abstention as a no vote. And he says, you're on there, you are there to make a decision. And an abstention means you're not prepared. But it could be decided either way. So if you're going to abstain, please don't. And that was a professor from the University of Connecticut. Found it interesting.
Thank you. Yes.
Karen Blanchard,
Yes.
resident of East Haddam, but I own business in Haddam.
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank these 2 fine gentlemen who all spoke over right here. Our veterans, I thank you for your service. But I do have one thing to say. You are a despicable woman. We have 13 months, 11 days, 5 hours, and 20 minutes till the election in 2019, which you will be gone. You do nothing for this town except divide people. And that smirk on your face is disgusting.
Thank you, Karen.
You're very welcome.
Anyone else?
McDye Road, how are we doing there?
Alan, I love your questions. Tie Road's coming along, so I know that they got the culvert in. I didn't notice the closed signs today, so this week they were supposed to be done. to be able to let traffic go through.
They extended it
They
to,
had to, yeah, the rain, they're so far behind, even though considering, because what happens is, they shut down, they're limited to what they can do in the rain, and then with all the rain and debris, they come back the next morning and they need to clean it up. So we're a little bit behind, I want to say we're about 3 weeks behind, but it'll be done soon. They're moving right along, they're doing a really good job. I actually got a second work order in today to approve from Jacobson, so they're just zooming along. Any other roads?
no, I'm good,
You're good?
right now.
All right, well, if you think of anything.
I'll be back.
All right, I'm sure you'll be back. Any other public comment? Okay, all right. So approval of the minutes of September 10th. A motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? This wasn't here. We have tax refunds for September 24th. And we have 2 real estate refunds for $8,837.02. Motor vehicle refunds for $1,176.04. For a grand total of refunds of $10,013.06 for September 24th, 2018.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Appointment for Board of Finance. The Board of Finance recommended that Bob McGeary, the alternate Republican, fill the seat for Dave Capitulic, who served for many years. I did say at the meeting last month, Dave and his wife have relocated in their retirement to Yarmouth and the Cape. And we're going to miss Dave for many years as a member of the Board of Finance. So if I can have a motion to approve Bob McGeary from an alternate to a full member to serve out Dave Capitulic's seat.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Mr. Salonia, where are you? I know I saw you walk in. There you go. We had a vacancy on the NEAC, Nuclear Energy Advisory Council. And looking for someone who's interested in serving. Craig came in and wrote a letter to me, handed it to me today, that he would like to serve on this council, which is very important. It keeps us in contact with what's going on with the power plant. So if I can have a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Any discussion?
I would have liked to have known about that prior. I could have had some names.
It was in the minutes. If you were at the meeting, you would have known. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No.
All right, so Dublin Hill Road, we're doing, as everyone knows, bridge work to start there in the spring. We need to go to town meeting for an easement for right-of-way. We have a letter here from DOT that was delivered. There's 4,000 square feet of municipal land that is part of the Cove property that they are giving us. They did a appraisal based on the value of $1,650. So if I can have a motion to approve so that we can send it to a town meeting so the people in town can vote on that.
I'll make that motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. And the last, same thing to refer to town meeting. I received a letter. There were no bidders at the last and second auction on the properties of Silver Springs. Shortly thereafter, I received an email from Dante Orsini, who is interested in Lot 12 in Silver Springs. He's making a cash offer of $42,500. I would like to get approval to send this again to a town meeting so that the residents in town can vote whether to accept this. If we do go ahead and approve it, and it's approved, Attorney Corella can handle all the paperwork and the purchase and sales agreement and do what needs to be done.
It's just for lot 12?
Just for Lot 12, yeah, there was no interest in any other lots.
Okay.
There was no one that came, so. Any discussion?
Yeah, I don't think we should be getting rid of property for less than what it's worth. There's no rush on this, and I think we should, the town should continue to hold those properties until we get a better offer.
All right, well, this is the second go-around that we've done for advertising. Melissa, to your recommendation, we went to the Hartford Current, New Haven Register for 2 weekends in a row. We did have some interest from realtors out of state, but when they did their due diligence on the property, they were not interested. I think it's something that we should allow the people in town of Haddam to decide and vote on, so I am in favor of moving this to a town meeting, and whatever the outcome is of the residents of the town is the outcome of the residents of the town. It's an offer to help us pay for the improvements that need to be done at the dam. The dam estimate is around $80,000 with a 40% contingency, which brings us to about $120,000. It's work that needs to be done for the safety of the community, and $40-something thousand would go well towards fixing those repairs. Again, we need to go through the process with the town and with the residents, but I think it's up to us to allow them to have their say. So I will take a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Okay. A motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.